Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. I, the representative from the group, will present our discussion about the roles of mass media in relation to Islamic values. I am Siti Nur Atira binti Jaya and my number matric is 1190249. In our discussion, we have decided to select 3 journals related to the research title. Our first journal is the quality of visual aesthetic facet in designing religious website. Next, the representation of Islamic teaching in the novels by Habibur Rahman Al-Shirazi. Lastly, the impact of social media on Muslim society from Islamic perspective. The first journal is Quality of Visual Aesthetics Facet in Designing Religious Websites. Nowadays, many people use websites to engage in spiritual and religious activities since it is the mainly visual media. The visual aspect of the website often have an important role in the user's decision to leave the page and link another page. Therefore, it is important to improve designing and creativity while providing quality and usefulness content for surfers on the internet. Aesthetic is an important factor in the pleasure experienced by the user during the interaction as well as it related to understand the usability of the system both before and after interaction. This journal is about the Islamic website studies through an analysis of the visual aesthetics factors present on selected website includes simplicity, diversity, color, typography, and image. From this study, our findings may help as a starting point for research on visual aesthetics to practice in designing and developing the quality of religious websites, especially from Islamic websites. In literature view, the concept of aesthetic is considered as a branch of philosophy associated with art and beauty. The Greek origin of the word is aesthetikos, that means aesthetic, sensitive, perceptive, sense perception. Another meaning of the word is I perceive, feel, sense. In visual aesthetic factors, we are measuring the factors of influencing visual aesthetics on the web, which has been based on 2 major approaches. The first approach emphasizes the concept of beauty in the observed object and includes the structure and color factors of the interface. The second relates to the user's subjective perception of aesthetics. Therefore, in the present study, we choose simplicity, diversity, colorfulness, typography, and image, which is well-established design factors, and the importance of the factors is well supported in the prior literature. After that, this article aims to observe how religious websites apply for each of these criteria. Accordingly, of the 50 most visited Christian and Islamic religious websites on the Alexa religious websites, those 10 were purposely selected to represent samples of organization-based websites that focus on providing information about religion. The selection was not included questioning and chat websites. For evaluation of samples, the measures of 3 aesthetic factors such as simplicity, diversity, colorfulness were adapted from aesthetic of website inventory, and 2 factors such as typography and image were from visual aesthetic factors in web design. The evaluation was conducted by 2 experts in aesthetic and visual communication studies for each sample. It is allocated 1 point for each of the criteria in the website that fulfill a factor very well. Half a point for websites that somewhat fulfill the criteria, and those which perform comparatively poorly receive no point. These are the list of the Christian and Islamic websites used in the study. The first factor is simplicity, which is a critical factor in aesthetic perception. It is related to aspects that facilitate perception and the processing of a layout. In terms of website design, in particular, simplicity could be applied as optimizing or reducing the number of elements on screen and alignment points. Simple layouts are easy to process which have a positive value. Accordingly, the simplicity adds First, visual impression of a website has an important role in user perception of aesthetic value. In terms of simplicity, 2 from 5 selected Islamic websites receive a high score on easy access, harmony, and well-structured attention to simplicity, while other samples had an average and low score in this item. Next, diversity is the various structural elements of a website. This is an important component in the aesthetic evaluation of a website that reflects aspects related to visual richness, dynamics, diversity, creativity, and novelty. Based on the theory of aesthetic psychology, diversity positively arouses interest and attention of the user that could be applied to religious websites to attract users as well as solution for low arousal caused by boring and simple layout. On 5 selected Islamic websites, the finding revealed that the majority of the websites received an average and low score. Color is presented as one of the most important design properties at first glance in human-computer interaction. Regarding website design, colors should be based on the target audience as some colors evoke different emotions and interpret with different meanings in different contexts and culture. In this way, the color choice and composition are an important part of website design, and choosing a good color for a website can improve the performance and aesthetic appeal of the website. For selected Islamic samples received the lowest scores on some items such as attractive composition, visual appealing, and appropriate the content. Typography is defined as making impression through writing. It is related to organize a familiar group of shapes to make words, sentences, and paragraphs. Besides, it deals with the creative and effective use of types. In terms of website, because the majority of web pages contain comprised of text, using the principle as review above cause readability of the page. Results for typography of Islamic websites show that on some items they receive a high score, especially on the number of the font. However, on the proper font size, they had the lowest scores. On the other item like the large and small font and no long text, the website had the average score. Lastly, images that are aesthetically or emotionally pleasant could be considered as effective tools for attention and emphasis. On the 5 selected Islamic websites, image quality and image placement were 2 items that had low scores on most websites. On impressive in content grabs and relation to content samples had the average score. The table shows that there is a little attention to simplicity, diversity, colorfulness, and image in visual design for Islamic websites. Islamic samples had the lowest overall score in almost all factors, and typography was the factor that had an average score. In conclusion, aesthetic as an important part of a website user experience has impact on the overall experience from the website use. Besides, there is remarkable knowledge on positive relationship between the visual aesthetics of an interface and user satisfaction. Additionally, based on the importance of user experience in an online environment, findings suggest that aesthetic factors such as simplicity, diversity, and image should be more considered on Islamic websites. We expect the information acquired from these aesthetic factors to serve as a basic for future research in this field and could help website owners and web designers to improve the user experience on religious websites. Our second journal is the presentation of Islamic teaching in the novels by Habibur Rahman al-Shirazi. The study is mainly focused on the representative of the Islamic concept on the novels. It aimed to explain the Islamic concept laid inside the Ayat-Ayat Cinta and Ketika Cinta Bertasbih novels, which consist of the representative of Islamic belief, Islamic law, Islamic morals, the aspect of Islamic social culture, consists of the author ideology and the reader's response on the impacts and the benefit of the both novels to the society and the education values delivered by the novels. The education values consist of the socials, the morals, and the cultural values on the novels. The method used on this study is qualitative descriptive method. The result of the study is that both of the novels consist of the high of education, values, and Islamic concepts which are implemented on the Islamic belief, Islamic law, which is the act of devotion, and the muamalah, and Islamic morals. The last journal is the impact of social media on Muslim society from Islamic perspective. This study has the goal of promoting the role of social media in Muslim society, also how it is used based on Islam and social welfare. The study found that in the case of da'wah, all prophets didn't use the same tools and technique. Based on different environment and situation, they use different tools and techniques for da'wah. In the era of modern science, when people are addicted to good material consumption and services, it is not easy to make them return to an invisible world such as ad-din and akhirah. That is why modern information technology equipment can be more effective tool for Islamic da'wah. The social media such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and more have come easily usable, smooth, quick connection, live broadcast, live call, and cheaply in various facets of our life from anywhere in the world when traditional like the old communication was slow but expensive. I can conclude that the mass media we choose, which are websites, books, and social media, also play a role concerning Islamic values. This kind of opportunity must be taken advantage of to spread the message of Islam. In this case, we must search for ways to keep the quality in giving and using the mass media well, so that it won't give a bad impact on the one who use it and continue to spread Islam values in peace. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.